It's the fourth day of Helicoter's nuptial. This is the climax of the occasion, as it is the actual day where they will become man and wife. Before the ceremony begins, a ritual to Lord Ganesh is performed for good luck. This is important, as Ganesh is the destroyer of all obstacles. This ceremony generally involves both the brides and her family. Helicoter opted to have an open instead of closed mandap and use pots instead of a pillar in their mandap setup. In most instances, the mandap comprises of 4 pillars placed in earthen pots, which represent the 4 elements of the universe: earth, wind, water, and fire. The couple is asking for blessings from every one of these elements. The ceremony begins with the arrival of the groom. Helicoter come from 2 different Hindu cultures and had a conflict on the timings of the wedding. However, being that Dhruv is the first grandson to do a wedding, the couple opted to honor Dhruv's grandfather's wishes and have an evening wedding. Accompanied by his family and friends in a festive procession, Dhruv arrives at the wedding venue in a cavalcade of cars. The procession consists of his family and friends singing and dancing around him to music generally played by a professional dhol. The bride's family, armed with garlands and traditional Indian sweets, then welcomes the groom and his family in a ceremony known as Milni. Milni is an important tradition where the groom's family is honored by the bride's family. The groom is met by the bride's family at the entrance to the wedding venue. This ritual symbolizes the pleasure and happiness of the bride's family in accepting the groom as part of their family. Next, Hinol's parents come to give her away in the first feras. In the second feras, Hinol's uncles from her dad's side will give her away, while in the third Hinol's, mom's brother will hand her over. Both the bride and the groom walk gently around the sacred fire 4 times, symbolizing the virtue of selflessness that is required to run the family. A sacred thread is tied around the neck of the couple as a mark of the marriage bond. In the fourth, which is the final feras, Hinol's mother-in-law, together with married women from Daru's family, come up to dress her with a red sari as a sign of acceptance. Thereafter, Daru will lead the session as a sign that they are married.
Before we start the fourth fera now, his family, like his mom and the other ladies, about 4 of them, come onto the stage with now the gurju, which is now the sari they give me on the wedding, which makes me sort of theirs now. Now you're ours. And they make me wear it there. So they just sort of put it onto me. And so now I'm officially in their family now. Yeah. And that's why he can lead the way. So that's why the fourth pharaoh, he goes in front of me. When I was doing the praying and I was putting my foot on that beetle knot and stuff, and he just started walking. So I'm being pulled because my sari is tied to him.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, where is this guy going? Like, let me pray at least.
Yeah, the second to pray, how long are you going to take? I started going off.
It's supposed to be pretty heavy, kind of good work on it and stuff like that. It can't be a very simple, just any kind of a sari. It has to be, it's precious. So that's now the one you wear to now anyone else who gets married and has a mandho and is close family, that's what I will have to wear to their mandho.
To their mandho.
Yeah.
Om Tripadatta Paradapado Seha Bhavat Punah.
As per the Hindu customs, Daru marks the parting in his wife's hair with red powder for the first time and adorns her Magna Sutra, a sacred necklace to signify eternal bond that protects and unifies them.
It's a chain that's, it has to be in gold, and then it's got gold beads on it with some black beads on it. And then it's your choice if you want to put a pendant on it. You can modernize it and put a pendant, but the pendant can't be something that's running on it. So it's not a loose pendant. It has to be a fixed one. And the Mangal Sutra, especially the one I've given her, because it got diamonds and everything, I told her you don't need to always wear it. Apparently, I found out later that if when I'm doing the sindoor, if it falls on her nose, it's very good luck for her.
Someone managed to get some foundation and rubbed it on. And the Mangal Sutra as well.
Having become man and wife, Hinal and Dhruv receive congratulatory greetings as well as blessings from family and friends. Afterwards, they leave the mandap as guests shower them with flower petals. Finally, Dhruv gets to wear his shoes after hiding them from Hinal's family. In the Hindu culture, as part of the game, Dhruv would have paid a fine if the bride's family got the shoes. The new couple heads over to the reception, which is just in the next hall. The guests have already finished their meal and gone home, as in Hunal's culture, the wedding is usually over by this time.
Because of the different cultures, we sort of had dinner on our own. Not on our own as a couple, but as a family. Because her culture, the weddings are earlier and everyone's home by late evening. By the time everyone's sort of sitting down to eat, the wedding's over. So the bride and groom are also either about to sit down or they've just sat down. And I got there, most of the guests had already left.
Hinal and Dhruv head back to the temple to give thanks to their god for making their day successful. Afterwards, a vital ceremony or a send-off party shall take place. This is usually an emotional ceremony where the bride exits her family by saying goodbye to her close family members and friends.
It's supposed to be very, very emotional. Because I mean, they're literally just saying bye, now you're someone else's kind of a thing. Even my dad, actually, he was so emotional. I've never seen him like that, ever. At that point, I did cry when I hugged my dad, but I told myself I have to hold it, because when I get to my mom, there's no way I can cry as well, because then she will just break down completely.
In Dhru's culture, the bride and the groom walk out together during the Vidai ceremony. However, since they're following the bride's culture, Dhruv had to allow Hinal to say goodbye to her people as he waits outside. But just as the couple is about to leave, the bride's family plays another game. Upon arrival at the groom's home, another ceremony known as the Bubat ceremony is performed. The bride's mother-in-law receives the newlyweds and performs a small arti to ward off evil spirits. The newlyweds thereafter have to step on the coconut until it's broken and have its water imprint on their soul. Then the bride is supposed to be welcomed in the house by the groom's sisters, but since Dhruv has no sisters, Hinal is welcomed by his cousins. Hinal and Dhruv then receive blessings and gifts from their elders before proceeding to leave the house to get some rest. It's the last day of Hinal and Dhruv's nuptial. The bride and the groom's side hold a reception in the evening for their family and friends. The main objective of the reception ceremony in the Indian culture is to get the bride introduced to the numerous relatives and friends of the groom's family.
Majority of the guests were all from my community, my friends and everyone. Obviously we'd invited her family as well, but not so many, not everyone, because her family is very big. If I invite close family, it would be about 400 people, which is the size of my entire community.
In most of the cases, a lavish spread of delectable dishes is on offer for the invitees who come to give their blessings to the just married couple. Despite the fact that there is no cake ceremony in the Hindu customs, Hinal and Dhruv opted to have it as a way of modernizing their event and also to celebrate Dhruv's grandfather's birthday.
By tradition, there is no wedding cake.
We're going to cut the cake now. The bride and groom are going to cut the cake, not us. So would you all like to come closer, please? And after the cake cutting ceremony, I'll have a few words to share with the couple.
Contrary to the norm whereby the newlyweds move into their own home after the wedding, Hinal and Dhruv will move into Dhruv's family house as per the Indian culture.
Normally it's tradition for the guy to continue staying with his parents, and the girl moves in.
For us, it's so normal. I've never even thought of not moving into the boy's family. Like, it's just so normal to do it.
We've always lived like this ever since I was born. So it's been fun. It's not just been me and my brother all the time. It's always been me and my brother and my two cousins. We're moving into a different unit in the same block, and it's going to be both of us, my parents and my younger brother.
We wish Hinal and Dhruv a marriage full of bliss.